Actors Theater of Columbus, a performing arts troupe based in Columbus, Ohio, was founded in 1982. Now celebrating its 43rd anniversary and 44th season, the group continues to make a meaningful impact on both the local art scene and the broader Columbus community. Today on City Chat, we're joined by actor and director Philip J. Hickman to discuss the rich history of Actors Theater and give us a preview of what's in store for the 2025 season. Thank you, Philip, for coming on to City Chat today. So, an actor and a director, how do you personally balance both being on stage and then also being behind stage?
Some of it gets really complicated, and I'm glad that there's a lot of theater to do because I try not to work with myself, if that makes sense, as much as I can. I try to either direct or act. I did a couple of years ago have the experience of directing a play that I had written. One of the things I thought was wonderful about that was that I could just fix anything I didn't like, which isn't always the experience with a script, but it made it very easy to decide when I was my own boss and when I wasn't.
For those who may be new to the company, what would you say makes Actors Theater a unique part of Columbus in the arts area?
Actors Theater has the very unique privilege of performing in a public park. Our shows are free of charge. We do accept donations. We need donations, but we don't have any gates to come in or anything like that. And so we have a really unique relationship with the community.
How would you say the community within the group, are you guys a close-knit group? And can you kind of go into detail how this affects the Columbus community at whole, not just the art scene?
Oh, sure. The company itself, there are a handful of people that work part-time for the company throughout the year. And then during the summer, we bring in a lot of actors and a lot of designers and technicians. There are people that we work with many, many years in a row. And then every year there are new people who come in and kind of bring some fresh insight and fresh views to what we do. Yeah. So when I look around at the whole Columbus theater scene, everywhere are people that I've worked with or people that have worked with Actors Theater who are taking on new ambitious roles, either artistically as actors or directors, but also administrative positions. And so it feels really good to be a part of that growth.
You know, how has theater evolved, in your opinion, artistically for our community or structurally too?
There are a lot of answers to that. Wow, that's a good question. So one of the things that I think has become more prevalent in theater is stepping away from this kind of grand tale that is on the stage and somehow distant from us. Yeah. And it's become much more up close, more personal. And the other thing is, it's the reality of the world we live in. Casts, generally speaking, are much smaller. I think probably 20 years ago, shows in Schiller Park had 18 or 20 actors in them. And now, if we get above a dozen, it seems pretty notable. It seems like a very large cast.
You know, Shakespeare, it's been taught in elementary schools, and you know, this is the 43rd anniversary. Why do you think Shakespeare is like this, kind of like the Bible of theater?
I think there's a little bit of magic to what he wrote. One of the things that I love about his work is he doesn't dehumanize anyone ever. Even his villains have real motivations and real thoughts and concerns. And so when you approach his work, whether it's a comedy or a tragedy, one of the romances, you can see where everyone is coming from, whether you agree with them or not. And then approaching different plays at different stages of life, you identify with different characters, you see things differently. And I think that's because he was so committed to treating everyone with a sense of humanity, whether he liked them or not.
What can audiences look forward to this season?
On June 19th, we are performing A Midsummer Night's Dream. Okay. We'll be running that for 4 weekends. It is absolutely the classic wacky romantic comedy. It's got so many things going on. We've got intentionally bad actors. We've got young lovers running away. We've got the entire fairy world fighting with itself, trying to decide who has power and who doesn't. After that, we have a newer adaptation of a novel called Shane, which was a very popular Western novel from the 1950s. A woman named Karen Zacharias adapted Shane a couple of years ago in a unique way. It's, instead of just telling this cowboy story, it's a story of memory and a story of the real West, and not a kind of fictionalized, romanticized West, but more like the way it was actually experienced, while still having that child's view of what a hero is and what a hero can be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we are finishing the season with She Kills Monsters, which is a very popular play. It's a very fun play that is also, it's about monsters, and it's about Dungeons and Dragons, and it's about friends, but it's also about grief, and it's about reconciliation and understanding people that you've lost in a way that maybe you didn't while they were with you.
How do you guys choose plays and what to perform each year?
So I have my co-artistic director, Rowan Winterwood, and we both usually have a list of plays that we're intrigued by, or we think, with Shakespeare especially, after 44 seasons, it's hard to find one that we haven't done.
Yeah.
But looking back and saying, what have we done most recently? Let's kind of set those aside and then see what might be worth revisiting. So a little bit of the conversation about Shakespeare is based on that, our own history and what might be interesting now. Are there things that Actors Theatre hasn't done that maybe we want to try doing? There's always that little bit of a through line, and at the same time, we try to have as wide a variety of storytellers as we can. We try to make sure that we're not just telling, Shakespeare over and over and over, as much as I love him, and as much as I think we could in some ways. I think it's really important to bring in other authors, other voices, to make sure that we as a community are having a conversation with our community that matters to the community.
Can you describe what that passion is to, really act and perform on stage? What you see is similar to everyone.
When the company was founded in 1982, the goal was to entertain people. The goal was to tell a story, to kind of evoke the imagination and give people something memorable and beautiful under the open sky in Schiller Park. And that remains true all these years later, is that kind of ultimately the goal. People want to succeed artistically, of course, and people want to do interesting shows, of course, and all of that is really important. But at the bottom of that, at the core of it, is this idea of giving someone a unique experience to watch, to participate in.
Yeah.
I think theater is unique in that it's one of the very few arts where you have to be in the same space for it to work. Yeah. Each show gets roughly 16 performances, and not a single one of them will ever be the same. And that's one of the beautiful things, especially about Schiller Park. We have dogs who love to make cameos on our stage. They are frequently photogenic and more interesting than whatever is happening in the scene behind them. We get geese who like to fly real low over the audience at a certain time every night. It's something that can't be replicated, and the actors and the technicians know that and kind of lean into it, and I think that's one of the beautiful things about it.
That's so special. Is there anything else that you would like to add and let our residents know?
We are really grateful to the City of Columbus, both the people of Columbus, but also the government of Columbus, the Recreation and Parks Department especially, for helping us to stay where we're at and be successful where we are in Schiller Park. Helping our patrons be comfortable in the park, have access to facilities that they need, but also helping us with the stage and with under the stage and making sure that everything works. It's a really wonderful relationship, and I'm really grateful for it.
Thank you, Philip, so much for all of this information and this behind-the-scenes look. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
I'm Josie Smith. Thanks for watching City Chat on CTV.